Hello, my dear friend. Have you ever woken up with an inexplicably heavy heart? Even though everything outside seems fine, inside you, there is a simmering storm of nameless anxieties, a vague fear of the future, or a persistent torment about something in the past. You feel as though your mind, instead of being a peaceful companion, has become a fierce battlefield. These battles take place silently, unseen by anyone. Yet they drain your life energy every single day. We often try to fight these thoughts, try to drive them away. But the harder we try, the fiercer the storm becomes. But what if I told you there is a path to step out of that battlefield? A path that the Buddha pointed out thousands of years ago, helping us not only overcome anxiety, but also find steadfastness right in the midst of life's fluctuations. Today, I invite you to walk with me through 7 profound lessons of wisdom. These are not distant theories, but precious keys for you to transform suffering into peace and clarity, so that your mind is no longer a battlefield, but a quiet temple. Lesson 1. Thoughts are not the truth. Let us begin with the first lesson, a foundational truth capable of liberating you immediately. Thoughts are not the truth. My dear friend, our mind is like a monkey. It constantly jumps from one branch to another, from one thought to another. Those thoughts, whether they are worries, fears, or judgments, do not appear because you intentionally create them. They come and go according to the conditions of memory, habit, and the surrounding environment. The biggest mistake that causes us suffering is believing that everything the mind tells us is the absolute truth. When an angry thought arises, we rush to conclude, I am a hot-tempered, bad person. When fear appears, we believe, I am weak. We have unintentionally identified ourselves with these temporary phenomena. But close your eyes and visualize this beautiful metaphor. Your true consciousness is vast and boundless, like a deep blue sky. And those negative thoughts, no matter how fierce, are just dark clouds passing by. The sky is never harmed by the storm. No matter how thick the dark clouds cover it, behind them, the sky remains clear, still, and intact. You are that sky. True freedom does not begin with trying to extinguish every thought, but begins when you stop believing everything the mind says. Practice mindfulness by observing those clouds of thought. When you realize you are the tolerant sky and not that impermanent cloud, you will separate yourself from the storm gently. You will stand in the position of an observer, watching them come and go without fear or being swept away. That is the foundation of all peace. Lesson 2. The present is the only safe place. Once we have learned to see thoughts as clouds in the sky, we continue with the second lesson, a crucial key to escaping chronic anxiety. The present is the only place of safety and peace. My dear friend, what is anxiety really? It is your mind abandoning the safe house of the present to run away to a future that does not yet exist. You sit here, but your soul is busy flying to tomorrow, constructing terrifying scenarios about what might happen, what could go wrong. You are living in a horror movie directed by yourself. But look back at this very moment. Right here, you are sitting, you are breathing, and you are safe. This room is still quiet. Your heart is still beating rhythmically. Everything is fine. The fears you are feeling are just ghosts in the mind. They cannot touch the truth of this moment. To anchor yourself to the peace of the present, make your breath your most loyal soulmate. Breathing always happens in the present tense. It is the only bridge connecting you to life right now. Whenever you feel anxiety rising, stop. Gently place your hand on your heart, feeling the beat of life. Inhale deeply, accepting the safety of the present. Exhale slowly, letting go of all fears about the future. Silently remind yourself, in this moment, I am safe. I am protected. I am fully present here. When your mind is truly present, anxiety cannot exist. You cannot fully taste the flavor of a cup of tea and worry about a deadline at the same time. Choose the present, for it is the only place you are truly alive. Lesson 3. You cannot control everything. Having dwelled in the present, let us move to the third lesson, a truth hard to accept but bringing ultimate liberation. You cannot control everything. In life, we are often programmed to believe that control is power. We try to grasp everything in our hands, controlling work, controlling others' behavior, and controlling the outcome of the future. But the truth is, control is just an illusion. Imagine you are standing on the beach trying to scoop up a handful of fine sand. If you clench your fist for fear the sand will flow away, the tighter you squeeze, the more the sand slips through your fingers. In the end, you are left with nothing but a tired and painful hand. Relationships, careers, or even your own body are like that handful of sand. The more you try to control, the more pressure and tension you create. The Buddha taught about equanimity, which means inner balance. It is not passivity, but the acceptance of the flow of life. You do your best with all sincerity, but you let go of attachment to the result. Ask yourself, am I trying to hold on tight to something that is meant to flow away? Take a deep breath, relax your hands, and whisper, I let go of what is not mine to control. I trust in the unfolding of life. When you let go of the illusion of control, you will find life becomes much easier. Lesson 4. Your worst days built you. After learning to let go, we enter the fourth lesson, a lesson with the deepest healing power, capable of completely changing how you view past wounds. The worst days of your life are precisely the days that have built who you are today. We often want to erase a painful past. We wish we had never experienced that failure. Wish we had never been hurt. But my dear friend, pain is not an enemy coming to destroy you. Pain is a strict but most truthful teacher. Imagine yourself as a seed. That seed cannot sprout and rise into a tall shade tree if it refuses to break open in the darkness of the soil. The darkest days, the bitterest failures, or the tears shed late at night are not the end. They are the most precious fertilizer, the most powerful catalyst for your soul to transform, grow, and find the inner strength you could never have had in peaceful days. The Buddha taught us how to turn poison into medicine. The pain you thought you couldn't bear, when viewed correctly, is the most powerful energy source to transform you. The scars you carry are not signs of weakness. They are maps of the battles you have won, proof of the resilience and indomitability of your soul. So stop hating the past. Take a deep breath and whisper a word of thanks to those very bad days. Thank them for teaching me the lesson of courage, of letting go, and of self-love. Lesson 5. Not everything deserves a reaction. Having transformed the past, we continue with the fifth lesson, an essential skill to protect your peace in this noisy world. Not everything deserves a reaction from you. My dear friend, life constantly throws small pebbles at us. An unintentional criticism, a cold attitude, or an unsatisfactory event. Our natural reflex is often to pick up that pebble, analyze it, torment ourselves over it, and then react with anger or hurt. It is this reaction, not the pebble itself, that makes you bleed and exhausted. Imagine your mind like a lake surface as flat as a mirror. When someone throws a pebble, a word, an action, into the lake, it creates ripples. If you immediately jump into the lake trying to flatten those ripples, you only make the lake more agitated and muddy. The technique here is to learn to pause before reacting. Between the stimulus and your response, there is always a sacred silence. It is in that silence that you reclaim your power. Ask yourself these two important questions. Is this emotion truly mine, or am I reacting to someone else's emotion? Does reacting right now bring peace or just more trouble? Sometimes, wise silence is the most powerful answer. It is not weakness or avoidance. It is you protecting your precious energy source. You do not need to participate in every battle to which you are invited. Practice dialogue with your inner critic. When a thought, "I must react," appears, gently say, "I see you, but I choose peace." Learn to stand firm like a mountain. No matter how hard the wind blows, no matter how fierce the storm roars, the mountain remains serene, unmoved. You are the mountain, and the words or actions of others are just passing winds. Let them come and let them go. Lesson 6. Reframe the problem as a path. Having learned to let go of unnecessary reactions, we continue with the 6th lesson, a lesson helping you view every obstacle in life with a completely new eye. View every problem as a doorway leading to growth. We often see a problem as an obstacle, something bad to be avoided. When life throws a challenge at you, a lingering pain, a financial difficulty, or a complicated relationship, the natural reaction is to complain, worry, and want it to disappear immediately. But if you look closely, hidden within those very problems are the most precious gems of wisdom and resilience. The Buddha taught that suffering is the greatest school. If life were always smooth, without any bumps, would you learn patience? Without those who hurt you, would you learn the lesson of tolerance and forgiveness? Every heartbreak, every failure, every difficulty is a silent teacher coming to polish your soul. So when a problem arises, instead of asking, "Why me?" change your perspective and ask, "What lesson awaits me behind this door?" See it not as a hopeless wall, but as a locked door, and your task is to find the key to open it. Where is that key? It lies in changing your perspective, in the courage to face it, and in learning to let go of what cannot be controlled. Trust that the universe never sends you a challenge you are incapable of overcoming. Every difficulty is a test for you to unlock hidden potentials, to discover an inner strength you never knew you had. When you dare to step through the door of the problem, you not only solve that challenge, but more importantly, you become a stronger, wiser, and more peaceful version of yourself. That is the transformation from suffering to wisdom. Lesson 7. Faith is the antidote to fear. And finally, we arrive at the 7th lesson, also the solidest foundation for a life of serene freedom. Faith, sada, is the most powerful antidote to all fear. In Buddhism, faith is not blindness or illusion. Faith is a deep determination in the law of cause and effect, in the benevolent nature of the universe, and in your own resilience. When you live in fear, you are unconsciously declaring, "I do not believe that I am strong enough to face what comes." To build this faith, start by looking back at your own life. Remember the times you overcame difficulties, the times you thought you couldn't get up but finally did. Those moments are the living proof that you possess an extraordinary inner strength. Trust in the law of impermanence. No matter how difficult the present is, it will not last forever. The rain will stop, the night will pass, and the dawn will rise again. You don't need to worry about what the weather will be. You just need to learn how to keep your mind calm amidst the rain, and trust in the power of community. You are not alone on this journey. Millions of others are also anxious, also seeking peace. When we practice mindfulness, when we sow seeds of goodness, we are together creating a field of positive energy, uplifting one another. Spend a few minutes each morning sitting still and reminding yourself, I trust in my path. I trust in the arrangement of life, and I trust in my own healing power. When faith is strong enough, fear will automatically vanish like mist meeting the sunlight.